Here is the Spurs news roundup, providing you the latest top news in the last 24 hours, all in one place. That's how the first part of the video works, and the second part of the video is your analysis on every story, giving my opinion and getting you involved too. Let's get straight into it then, shall we? If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Welcome back. Let's get straight into it, your Tottenham headlines. So 9 of Tottenham Hotspur's academy players have received call-ups this international break. Those include Boast for England under-17s, got Sanford for England under-17s, Elise, England under-19s, Hardy, England under-18s, Thompson, England under-18s, William Barnett, England under-18s, Byfield, England under-18s, Maguire, Republic of Ireland under-21s, and Salter, Wales under-17s. Congratulations to them all. The I Paper report that Tottenham remain hopeful of selling Mali midfielder Yves Bissouma to a club in a country where the transfer window has yet to close. On this day in 2022, Tottenham secured a 2-1 win in the Premier League over London side Fulham. Tottenham's Dejan Kulusevski has travelled with the Swedish squad for the upcoming fixtures, so he could be part of the squad despite injury, meaning he cannot play. Tottenham's Carabao Cup third round tie against Doncaster Rovers will take place on Wednesday the 24th of September, kicking off at 7:45 British summer time. It will be televised on Sky Sports Plus. Ali McCoy has had his say on the Tottenham summer transfer window. Ali McCoy said, "I think they've had a good window. I'm not sure it's the best window, but I definitely think they had a good window. I tell you what, their best signing might be their manager. It might just be the best signing they've made in a number of years. I think he's a terrific coach, terrific manager, and they do really, really well." Roy Keane has given his thoughts on Mohamed Kudus, saying, "I have to say I'm not convinced. Not convinced. It would be nice if he surprised me." Tottenham's home game with Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Premier League has been moved forward to Saturday the 27th of September, kicking off at 8 p.m. British summer time due to our away game against Bodo Glimt in the Champions League. I think that's 3 days before. The clash was originally scheduled for Sunday the 28th of September at 2 o'clock British summer time, but we now play in Norway on the Tuesday. Oh, okay, my bad, so Norway will be the week after. So because they've been moved to the Tuesday, this fixture had to be moved. Are all Ryan fans that this is the second time the Premier League game against Wolverhampton Wanderers has been moved. Tottenham's 22-man squad for the league phase of the UEFA Champions League has been confirmed, and they are as follows: 3 goalkeepers in Guillermo Vicario, Anthony Kinski and Brandon Austin. Defenders: Pedro Porro, Jed Spence, Christian Romero, Mickey van der Ven, Kevin Danso, Ben Davis and Destiny Udogie. Midfielders: Rodrigo Bentancur, Yao Polinia, Archie Gray, Lucas Bergvall, Pat Matassar, Xavi Simons, Mohamed Kudus, Brandon Johnson and Wilson Odobert. Forwards: Dominic Solanke, Richarlison and Randall Kolo Muani. That means Matthias Tel has been left out of the Tottenham Champions League squad. Kota Takai, Radu Dragusin, Yves Bissouma, James Maddison and Dejan Kulusevski, as well as Matthias Tel, are all not included in the league phase. Of course, we know that some of them are due to injuries. Tottenham have confirmed ticket prices for Doncaster at home in the Carabao Cup. We spoke about when that fixture will be. Adults is £30 and juniors, so that counts as under 18s, for £10. Gimme Sport report that Tottenham shocked Juventus by convincing Paris Saint-Germain to allow Randall Kolo Muani to complete a deadline day switch to Hotspur Way, despite the North Londoners putting a less lucrative loan offer on the table. Tottenham's Luca Williams-Barnett scored for England under 18s. Fabrizio Romano reports that former Tottenham Hotspur head coach Ange Postecoglou is emerging as an option for clubs including Bayer Leverkusen and Fenerbahce. Fabrizio Romano said via YouTube that Tottenham considered the possibility of doing a deal for Adama Lookman before going all in for Randall Kolo Muani. Spurs wanted to do a loan with a buy option for Lookman, but Atalanta said no. Tottenham under 18's first year centre back Canyon Hansen will be out for 4 to 6 months, having torn cartilage in his meniscus, wishing a full speedy recovery to him, of course. Since 2016, Tottenham has spent £1.2 billion on incoming signings, but has only recouped £474.9 million. So, in the list of transfer spending in England's top 4 tiers since the 2016-27 season, Tottenham are 4th, narrowly behind Arsenal in 3rd, at a big gap, which sees Chelsea in 2nd and Manchester United in 1st. There you go then, your Tottenham headlines in the last 24 hours. Let's go through, stay with us and we will dissect them. Congratulations, as I said earlier, to all the Tottenham Hotspur Academy players receiving international call-ups. The eye people are talking about Tottenham remain hopeful selling Bissouma. If I had to predict, I think we'd probably sell him to somewhere like Portugal or Turkey, where I think the window's open. Definitely Turkey is, so I think we could sell him there to someone. Well, Fenerbahce fell through. Was it what fell through for him? No, the Galatasaray move fell through. Fenerbahce, I was thinking Mourinho, but obviously he's gone now, so I don't know what happened there, but I reckon he'd be sold to maybe a lesser Turkish club. Kulusevski's travelled with the squad. I mean, it just shows. I mean, he's captain, isn't he? And he loves the Swedish national team. I mean, he gives everything on the pitch, whatever team he's playing for. So I think that's class that he does that. Well, we've got Doncaster. I'm surprised it's on Sky Sports. Really, I'm glad because it's Tottenham, but it's not one that you think would be on Sky Sports. Totally agree with Ali McCoy. It's been a good window, not perfect, but good. Not the best window in the world, but it's been decent. And Frank, absolutely, I think it's a very good, maybe a very good appointment and probably one of our best signings. Roy Keane always takes the negative view. He's not convinced on Mohamed Kudus, but how many times has that guy been proved wrong? Tottenham's home game with Wolves being moved. Originally, I mean, I could question politely the Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust what the issue is, because a lot of people like a late night Saturday kickoff, and a lot of people in the comments engaged me. It's really interesting. It wasn't a dig or anything at all. It's a genuine question. I'm trying to gauge the understanding. And the understanding I've got, the issue with fans, is that it's been moved twice, and now it's a later game. So it seems like it's the problem for fans travelling long distances and getting travel back seems to be the issue. And a lot of people booking hotels and that. I think people used to it being moved once, but it's been moved twice with less than 25 days or so notice. I think that's people's concern. But I want to get into Tottenham's 22-man squad selected for the league phase of the UEFA Champions League. So most notably, Matthias Tel does miss out. That's caused some kind of discussion, a little bit of uproar, outrage, and confusion and shock among the Spurs fan base. To me, it doesn't come as too much of a shock, because if you base it off this season, I like Matthias Tel, but what has he done to warrant being in that squad? And if it's a choice, a straight shootout between going with Wilson Odobert or Matthias Tel, I think Odobert's got more chance of having an impact in a game. I like Tel. In an ideal world, we could have such a bigger squad and Tel would be included, of course. And it's difficult. But I looked at that and went, do you need 3 goalkeepers? And people will disagree with me, but I don't think you need 3 goalkeepers. I think it's overly safe, to be honest with you. I know 2 taking a little bit of a risk, but you have to apparently have 3. Anyway, 3 forwards, there's no surprise you had to go with them. He's Bissouma. It's a shame he's missed out, which suggests that he will be sold, but we could have done with that defensive cover. Let's look at defence. There's not many names in there at all, is there? Let's be totally honest with you. But no, I think Frank was limited in what he could do. Like, in terms of players missing out, which we all want to swiftly move on to, Maddison and Kulusevski, no surprise, they're injured. Even Dragusin, I think they're safe because he'll probably be able to feature later in the league phases. But why take a player who's going to be injured for half the tournament? That's what I do like about Thomas Frank. Takai, I think, is injured and probably didn't make it in there anyway. Tel is the big one, but Frank was left with a difficult choice when you bring in a third striker. That's just the way it is. Talking about their prices with Doncaster, I mean, some people aren't very happy about it, but I don't think that's too bad. I think it's a very, very good price in terms of what Tottenham usually charge. I think that's okay anyway, so I don't get the uproar with that. What else have we got here? Ange Postecoglou. I mean, I think he'd go to Bayer Leverkusen if I had to predict, and I think he'd do quite well there. So I have to see what happens. But some would say it's highly unlikely that a Greek manager would want to manage in Turkey. So we'll have to see. I think for me, it's definitely going to be Bayer Leverkusen over Greek. Well, over Turkish club Fenerbahce, I think. Adama Lukman, I mean, Fabrizio Romano kind of confirming what Tottenham fans wanted Spurs to do, and that is go for Adama Lukman before Kyler Mwani. He should be both, because Lukman should be a left winger and Kyler Mwani should be a striker, which does suggest that maybe they do see Kyler Mwani as a left winger, which is ever so slightly worrying. But I think Lukman would have been a good signing, but it looks like Atalanta would have an obligation. I don't know why they're so keen to get rid of him. Atalanta, it'd be interesting to know. I think he's done well there. Maybe just time for a change. But I mean, this statistic about since 2016, Tottenham spent £1.2 billion on incoming signings, but have only recouped 474.9 million. This, for me, highlights the club's ongoing inability to sell players for a profit. It's hindering further recruitment efforts. With the 4th highest spending club in England, 1 trophy to show for this investment. The question has to be here, are we doing enough in terms of buying and selling players? Probably not. Or is it more about what we spend on in terms of how much we spent? That's a genuine discussion. Maybe for another day, but we've always had a problem with getting out we gave players out the door, and we haven't spent money in the right way. There's no argument for me that the money's been spent. Times where it hasn't been spent, with the times when the new stadium was built, we had 18 months or at least 12. Let's say 12 months, because I'm not 100% sure on the Pochettino, at least a couple of windows with no signings. When you want to win trophies and so close to winning a trophy, that isn't acceptable, even when you are building a new stadium, because that's over a long period of time that the money goes in. It's not like we've had to pay $1 billion there and then. It's over a 20-25 year lease. So no excuse for me to at least sign a player. I'd take spending less when the new stadium's being built. Nothing wrong with spending less in a transfer window, but to spend nothing when you get to your Champions League final, I'm talking about before and after, and you just need a tiny little bit more to go over the line in the Premier League and Champions League. Reminder, there was one point under Pochettino that was so close to win the Premier League. We obviously know we got to Champions League final. A couple of different occasions we got close to the league, second and third. So we just needed an extra little push, and no signings really did hinder us. But those are statistics. Make of it what you want. But as your Spurs News Roundup, providing you the latest Tottenham news all in one place and full analysis. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comments below, so I know to keep delivering these videos and want to get your thoughts. It's much needed and valued. Come on, you Spurs for now though.